Okay, today we are going to be doing the masking exercises. So we were in Module 2 of the Photoshop workshop. I've opened up the Topic 6 Images for Masking folder. And you'll notice in here there's two folders with images to choose from for both the text mask exercise and the shape mask exercise. We're going to begin with text mask. You'll notice here that there are 9 images to choose from. It does not matter which one. Just please open it so it's nice and big on your screen, and select one. And when you find one you like, you can just right click, save image as, and you can pop it right into your downloads to open in Photoshop. So since I've downloaded that, I'm going to actually go right back to my Photoshop app, bigger, and I'm going to create a new file. For this exercise, we're just dealing with a 7-inch width and 5-inch height. So it should be in the horizontal orientation. Always make sure you're in inches and that the resolution is 300. Hit create. Now I'm going to go ahead and open my downloaded background image. And you'll notice this will open in a new tab. Use your marquee tool, your rectangular marquee, to click and drag and select it. And then you're going to edit copy, come over to your untitled, edit paste. You're going to need to edit free transform, or Command T is your shortcut. It's okay if there's a little white space on this, but you do want this to fill most of the space so that you can put text over top of it. Hit return on your keyboard when it's the right size. Now locate the T for text tool in your toolbox and just click and drag a text box over your image. We're just going to write our names for this exercise. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Mrs. Homan. Once I have that typed, I'm going to come up to the text options, and I'm looking for a font that has a nice bold typeface. And then I want to make it nice and big. So I'm going to change the size. 72 is the max that's in your drop-down menu. I think we can go bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and manually type that in here. So I'm going to actually type in 150. See if I can get that to fit. I might have to make my text box a little bigger. It looks like it's too big. So I'm going to come back down, do 125. All right. All right, I'm going to center my text here in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my layer box. If your layers are not visible, go to Window and make sure that you select layers, and that should pop up on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab group so I can see my layers easier. You're just going to click and drag this text underneath that top picture, and you'll see the blue line will indicate where you're going to drop it. Once that's dropped underneath, we're going to make a selection. To do that, you're going to put your mouse right over the T in the layer box. You're going to hold Command and click that T. And it's important, I'm going to repeat that. You're going to hold Command on your keyboard and click that T, and that's going to make a selection. Now, at this point, you see that your letters have the dancing, marching ants around them. That's a selection you want. Now we're going to, in the layer box, don't click anything to get rid of that selection. Just select your top image layer, your layer 1, so that's highlighted. And we're going to apply a mask to this layer. And what that's going to do is tell the computer, I want you to only show this image through my selection. So to do that, in the bottom of the layer box, you're going to locate the rectangle with the circle cut out of the center. And you're going to, if you let your mouse sit on there, you'll see it'll say add layer mask. You're going to click, and that's where the magic happens. So now you'll notice not only is your picture only showing through your text, but in your layer box, you're going to see this new link to your layer. So you should see in white your letters and then the black surrounding it. What that is the mask. The mask reveals or shows whatever is in white, and then whatever is in black is what's hidden. So that picture is not deleted. We've just hidden part of it. Now to finish this up, you can click on your background layer. You can locate your paint bucket by clicking G on your keyboard. It's usually hidden under the gradient tool. And you can add a background color by clicking the top color swatch here. If I let my mouse drag off, I can actually select a color that is already present within my text to just kind of keep it all consistent. or you can do any color you want if you want something more contrasting. And then at this point, I'm going to add a drop shadow. So I would avoid doing black on your background. I'm going to come to my text layer. I'm going to go up to layer drop down menu, layer style, drop shadow. And I'm going to bring my opacity up first so we can see it. I have sometimes your box opens up here, drag it off to the side so you can see what's happening. I'm going to move my distance slightly so I can start to see my drop shadow. You can mess around with spread, with size, the actual angle that your drop shadow is occurring at, and kind of play around here until you get something that makes your text stand out. Now, if you wanted to do something a little differently, if you wanted to actually fill your background with black, you won't see a drop shadow. I'm going to go back to layer style. Instead of drop shadow, I'm going to open up outer glow. Now you'll notice that this menu is here, so I can uncheck my drop shadow to get rid of it. And now I can start playing around with the glow by dragging these sliders here. So you can do a black background if you want to switch and do an outer glow instead of a drop shadow, but both of those are under layer style. And either way, I just want you to put some finishing touches on your text. Then we're going to save it. When you go to save as, you're going to save it on your computer. Because we have multiple layers here, we need to make sure we change the format back to a JPEG. If you click this drop down menu and that doesn't show up, click save a copy. And by saving a copy, that's going to expand your list here and you can select JPEG. So I'm just going to call this text mask. And once I save it as a JPEG, just pay attention to where it's going. Now you can insert this into your Module 2 art journal on the corresponding page. Make sure you drag this up to high quality or maximum before you save and hit OK. And that's it for the text mask.